Foreman Masterclass, how to use crew boards and work packages. In this video, I'm going to clearly articulate exactly what I would want for any crew out in the field in order for them to communicate with the workers, the boots on the ground, and plan and execute work, and the process that I would hope enables the work package, the work that you're going to do in zone, and I'm going to do it visually on the flip chart behind me and link you to some really great resources. So if you're into all that, if you want to lead your crew in a remarkable fashion, then stay with us. Okay everybody, I am stoked about this video, so let me go ahead and just get started right away. I want to talk to you about the trade partner preparation process. In the trade partner preparation process, we have a couple of key steps. By the way, full disclaimer, I learned the basis of this at Hensel Phelps, but everything is basically from memory and I've modified it into my own system, and I call it the trade partner preparation process. The bottom line here is you have a couple of key steps. One is you have buyout. So you're wanting to buy out a trade partner to do a specific scope of work. Then you have your contract. You're going to look for an executed contract to go do the work and make sure that that contractor is compliant. Once they have an executed contract, you will do what's called your pre-mobilization meeting. And this is where you explain to the trade partner exactly what deliverables are needed by what's called the pre-construction meeting. So I'm just going to write pre-con for the purpose of making sure that that information is ready for the trade partner, the foreman, and the superintendent to go do their work. Once that happens, then you'll have the work start and you'll do what's called a first in place. I'll just do FIP, or an initial inspection. This is when you're going to go out and see their first zone of work and make sure that it's okay. And then you'll have ongoing inspections, so we call those follow-up inspections, and then final inspections. So basically, your first in place, your follow-up, your final. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 key steps. Now, the idea here is that you have a crew, so I'm just going to draw these little humans over here, that you have a crew with a foreman that has the right information. And that right information we call an installation work package. Sometimes I've called them quality visuals or checklists, but I've really modified that to where I want this crew to have an installation work package that they have taken part in creating. And this installation work package really needs to be the combination of their activity details, their in-zone cycle time. We need to have plans and specs, any lift drawings, any layout drawings, the JHA, the job hazard analysis, and anything else that's needed to install this work, specifically the expectations and the quality requirements. So my idea that we are using at Lean-Built and in other locations is to use this installation work package right at buyout. Any applicable information goes into the installation work package. And then the executed contract, any inclusions and exclusions. Anything that's needed for the pre-mob goes into the installation work package. And then at the pre-con, this installation work package, which will be multiple pages of clear, simple, visual information, this is where this gets finalized, right? So any pertinent information early on is in here, and in the pre-con, we're reviewing drawings and specs. We are looking at the owner's requirements. We are digging deep into details, and we are fleshing this out to make sure that everything the crew needs is done here, but with the foreman and with the field engineer. That's the difference. So that when the crew comes and starts, the crew is able to have in hand this installation work package. Here's what I'm wanting to get away from. I don't like when a crew is going to install something with very little information, very unclear expectations, and then somebody comes along and says, well, we talked about this in buyout. Well, we talked about this, it's in your contract. We talked about this in the pre-mobilization meeting. We talked about this in the pull plan. We talked about this, we talked about this, we talked about this. Who's going to tell the crew that we talked about this? Every single interaction, and actually, that reminds me, before the actual work starts, the trade is usually involved with a pull plan and the look ahead and the weekly work plan. So I want to know, for the installation work package, have we considered everything that was discussed during buyout? Any relevant information from the contract, from the pre-mob, from the pull plan, from the look ahead, from the weekly work plan, is that all being combined to where we have it in one location? Now, I'm not talking about its own set of specs. I'm not talking about a huge document. I'm not talking about something that they won't read. I'm talking about simple, clear, visual, something that can literally give them everything that they need, including installation instructions. The idea here is for the crew to have this when they start. When they actually do the work, I want something a little bit more, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. But let me first say that when you, and I forgot to tell you this a minute ago, when you start the work, they use this. And then in the first in place inspection, you use this installation work package, which includes the checklist, and then the follow-up and the final. So this is being used for all of the follow-up that needs to be done after the work begins. So that's how you keep expectations. What are our expectations, and are we following the expectations? What I want to do is get this at the crew level. I want them to see it visually so they have the power, boots on the ground. Let me show that to you. I'm going to use the sketch of the crew boards to explain exactly what I want for you. I did think about printing these out before I came to the video shoot, but holding up a board and filming it seemed a little bit counterintuitive. Let me just say that these are rough sketches, but I do have this formatted beautifully in Canva, and we'll link it in the description below. So you can print these crew boards out whenever you want. So the crew boards, I like to have the stand with the circular base with the casters, and basically it's just a vertical whiteboard, and on there it's printed front and back, and we have this format. Again, we have the format for you, and we'll link it in the description below. And if you want further information, just reach out in the comments. But let's pretend that you are a foreman with your crew, boots on the ground. I want you to be able to attach the look ahead plan right here onto your board. This can be inside a pocket or a clip, but this is where you show the crew and work with the crew, committing to the items that need to be prepared 6 weeks out, and it shows the overall plan. The weekly work plan in 11 by 17, I don't know if I said that, is clipped down here. And this shows the commitments and handoffs for the week. This is going to be crucial for your crew to understand. The logistics plan, which I just wrote in here as LOG, and your zone maps are here for you to sketch. So if you're in front of your crew and you're talking to your crew and you're like, hey, let's go ahead, this is our long-term plan. Okay, these are the handoffs that we have for this week. And then you're going to talk about your day plan, right? This is what we're doing for today. And you organize the work of maybe even multiple individuals or multiple crews. You can actually sketch on your logistics plan and say, hey, your materials go up here. Here's how you access them. This is the exact spot that I would like them. Hey, we're in this zone right now. How do we, crew, want to organize this? Okay, we'll stage the forklift over here on this side. We'll mobilize our gang boxes over here. We'll move in and out from this side. There's a safety hazard over here. You can literally draw on these boards to accomplish your day plan. Now, what I want for everybody is that we know the overall look ahead items and the weekly work plan items, and we're able to do our day planning visually and draw with the crew. But if you have an individual or a crew going out to do a specific work package, they should be able to find those on the back side of the board. So the idea here is this is the front, see F, and then the back, this says B. On the back side, these are pockets, or they have the clips up here on the top. And what you should be able to do is literally show your work packages. On the back side here, they're printed out, they're beautiful, maybe you even have multiple copies. But the reason that there isn't just one work package is because, for instance, like if you are working for the electrician or the mechanical contractor or the framer, there's a big difference between pulling feeders and installing panels, right? Or installing the service entry section or installing duct bank, right? You might have your own duct bank work package, your own overhead rigid conduit with feeders work package, and your own electrical room installation of gear on equipment pads work package, right? So how you have these broken out is specific to the actual work package that you're going to install. And this crew may be a larger crew, and you organize into different smaller groups or work for individuals on every day. The bottom line is that you should be able to go over here and grab on the back your work package and go through this meeting with your crew every day and have this information that came from the trade partner preparation process. Up here on the right, I've listed an agenda. This agenda would basically encourage the crew leader or the foreman to go through the daily crew preparation huddle, to go over the look ahead weekly work plan, to draw out the plan for the day with them, and to make sure that every individual worker or subgroup or lead person has their work package information based on the typical agenda. So front side and back side. Now here's why this is important. You with the crew are going to be looking for problems inside this plan, just like with everything else, inside your day plan as well. And you're going to solve those problems. And when you actually know what's expected in your installation work package, the crew knows what is expected. And if they see a deviation from this work package, they can push or pull the metaphorical andon. Stop work, gather the foreman, gather the group, and make sure they're not passing on any defective work down the line. If we want to ask ourselves, how can we empower the people boots on the ground? How can we decentralize command? How can we create visual environments for the workers and the foreman where it matters? I recommend having a crew board and making sure that each individual or subgroup, crew, lead person, or crew has their installation work package ready to go based on the overall strategic and tactical plan for the project site. What would happen if you did this? How enabled would your people be if you had this? What difference would this make? If you think about that, I think you'll get pretty excited about it. So in the description below, we're going to give you the Canva links to the board formats, and we're going to reference and keep this video current with any other content that will help you out, including the Foreman board on Miro. So I hope you've enjoyed this content and that you're ready to go implement in the field. On we go.